Hello all. The goal of this block of instruction is to get some basic familiarity with online or digital resources for reading. First, Project Gutenberg. So I'm going to follow my link here on my shared Google document to Project Gutenberg's site. All right, what is Project Gutenberg? Project Gutenberg gives us the ability to view digital copies of works that are in the public domain. The public domain is the collection of works that are not copyrighted. So, by utilizing the works on Project Gutenberg, we are not stealing from the authors. Project Gutenberg does have a set of rules. Please follow it. All right, let's just do a quick search or two here. I'm going to look for a book by Ambrose Bierce, who is from my county, Meigs County, Ohio. And we have the collected works of Ambrose Bierce, Volume 2. Bohahaha. Good. Spooky voice because Ambrose Bierce wrote some spooky stories. We have some options here. Read the book in HTML, which is basic web page encoding, or we have Kindle and EPUB, which are fine if we're going to utilize the work in a reader designed for ebooks. But for the purposes of this, I'm just going to look at it as a web page. Here it is. We have some Project Gutenberg goodness, followed by the collected works of Ambrose Bierce, Volume 2. What can we do with it? Well, we can read it here. We could copy it and paste it somewhere if we need to. We can utilize it in a number of different ways. We just need to make sure that we're following the rules that Project Gutenberg has laid out for us. All right. That was the really quick Project Gutenberg tour. You can search, of course, by author or by title. And if the work isn't copyrighted, chances are it's on Project Gutenberg. Here, Project Gutenberg recommended ebook apps. Here we have the recommendation that Project Gutenberg has is that you just use their mobile site and download the EPUB and open it in whichever of these applications that you want. They have links to get directly to a handful of different apps, and that's it. I'm not going to go through the individual apps, but realize that they are here. Next up, the Kindle app. Whether it's on the iPhone or Android device, the Kindle app is pretty good. I use it regularly, mainly because it crosses platforms and saves your content and saves your location in that content. The page I opened here is for the iPhone. I'm actually using an Android now, but the links come from a time in my not-so-distant past when I was using an iPhone as opposed to an Android device. So, with the Kindle app, Kindle being an Amazon.com company, you can read books and then open them in other platforms or on your PC and pick up where you left off. You can conveniently search through content. You can do word lookups right in the app. It's very handy. I like it a lot. It is free, but most of the books are not. All right. Audiobooks. So the first few apps, or the first few concepts we looked at here were from Project Gutenberg to the apps that they have to the Kindle app. Those were ebooks, so they were the electronic versions of print books or books that were created electronically from the get-go. But next up, let's look at the concept of audiobooks. Audiobooks are, of course, simply books that we are listening to. Librivox is to audiobooks as Gutenberg is to print books. So let's go look at the Librivox.org website. Here we are. Librivox, actually that's not their main page. Librivox, you have the option to listen to books that others have read, or you have the option to read books for Librivox. Librivox is an organization that provides a wonderful service. Books that are out there in the public domain, like the books on Project Gutenberg, are just sitting around electronically waiting to be read. And since they're not copyrighted, people can read those and share the files. Librivox is the place for that to happen. If you, as a reader, would like to volunteer, you can click the volunteer button here, follow their rules, and read individual chapters or entire works or poems or whatever it is that's out there that's in the public domain, and it becomes available for others to listen to. If you're the average person, you're probably not going to do that, but you may well be interested in listening to some works. So I click back on the old catalog again. And let's just do the same thing we did with Project Gutenberg, and let's look for Ambrose Bierce. The Middle Toe of the Right Foot by Ambrose Bierce. All right, fair enough. I'm going to click download. And it's downloading, and there it would be for me to do with as I please. I would have the 280 megabytes of audio files to put onto whatever reader I listen to, or to listen to it on my computer using whatever tools I normally use to listen to music, etc. I'm going to click on the link here at Famous Modern Ghost Stories. Now I see the individual chapters, and I also have the option to just stream those. So if I'm at home, I'm kicked back, I have the internet, I don't want the introduction. Let's look at The Shadows on the Wall by Mary E. Wilkins. Well, that's not what I was after. I'm going to do a Control F and look for Ambrose Bierce. Here it is, the middle toe again. There we are. It's streaming. I'm listening to it. I've paused it. There it is. Free of charge. I can listen to it, I can download it, I can put it on my MP3 player, etc. Listen to it in the car, listen to it while I'm gardening, etc., etc. And moving on. That was Librivox as a concept. It's wonderful. So what if I want an app that will bring in some of those free audiobooks? Well, the Audiobooks app is a great option for that. Available on both Android and iOS. And here is the free app that I use to access free audiobooks. There are also paid audiobooks available on the Audiobooks app, but much of what's there is free. It's easy to spot, at least for now. The icon is pretty outstanding. All right. What I use as an avid audiobook listener is audible.com. You can download books from Audible and listen to them without a subscription, but the subscription saves buku bucks if you're the type of person who's going to listen to a lot of audiobooks. That's the short of it. I won't go into the details. If you're interested, go look at it. And that's it. That is a quick rundown of the ways that we can take in our reading, be it electronically for print versions of books or electronically for audio versions of books. Free and paid versions are out there. So, utilize them and read.